record. Thank you very, very much for joining the Gene Dexter Show. I'm Uncle Gene, and you're in my backyard. Sitting next to me is a fixture in the Northwest hip-hop music community. And I can't tell you how nervous and excited that I am today. Unlike some of the other interviews so far, today's quite special because Funk's resume and his stature in this music community is, for me, it's kind of breathtaking, actually. Let me give you some examples of what I'm talking about. He has produced for E40 gold and platinum records. Do you remember In a Major Way, through Sick With It and Drive, Element of Surprise, Three Strikes, and if that's a little exotic for you, how about the Mix-a-Lot record, Seminar? Unbelievable. That was a platinum record, of course. He's worked with everybody. JT and Bash, DMS. I had to write it all down because it's crazy. Mac Dre, my guy. Cool Nuts, In Too Deep. Please say hello to my very, very, very special guest, Mr. Funk Daddy.
Hello, world.
Yes, indeed.
Sitting here with Gene Dexter.
Yes. I've known you a long time, man, since you were a kid.
Yeah. When I was walking up to the house, I was like, man, who's been doing this longer, me or you? We've both been doing it for a while,
It's been a while. It has been a while.
I used to come get the records from you.
Yes, indeed.
Go play at the club.
Yes, indeed. And I think that might be a great place to start today because, and that's when, with your beginnings, your roots. DJ, right?
Right.
How did that start for you?
Well, it's funny. I actually started out as a rapper, but if you don't have a DJ or you don't have a person to produce you have to learn how to do it all yourself.
Right.
So,
right.
And, excuse me if I ramble because it's a lot
of
stuff
no.
I must try to.
No, we want to hear it. We want to hear it all.
Basically, I just started learning how to scratch. I would just try to do whatever I heard, and as the scratching got better than the rapping, I just went to that direction.
Okay.
Slowly ended up into the production direction, and
okay.
Back to the rapping, and it just goes around in a circle, basically.
And back to rapping. Okay.
Sure.
Okay. So, when did you first realize that you had this talent for DJing first? When was that epiphany?
It was a trip because Dave Ford basically introduced me to DJing on two turntables. I used to just DJ on one.
Okay.
I seen Dave do it, it blew my mind. That's DJ Punish, Mix-a-Lot's old DJ.
Right.
And so after that, I trained and practiced or whatever, and I entered a contest, and I was just happy to enter the contest, but I ended up winning for the best DJ in Seattle.
Wow.
And so after that, I kind of started thinking maybe I had something going here.
Maybe you had what it took.
Right.
Okay.
So I just went from there. It's kind of like a different area of DJing. That's battle DJing.
Okay.
My brother, who's an alpha in the A5A, Carlton Beer, and he basically he was alpha. He's like, my brother's DJing all the parties. So I was DJing on a double cassette box one time. I didn't even have turntables at that time.
Wow.
Slowly got, to the grandma turntables, wasn't even the Technics 1200s. Slowly got to the 1200s, to the good mixer, and just started building up until I felt like I was a professional.
I see. Yeah. And then what happened once you had that comfort level? Where did you go with it?
Then I started getting booked at real clubs.
Real clubs.
Because we're talking alphas is, they rent out a place, you DJ, or a house party or whatever. But then I started DJing at Aerospace.
I remember.
Guest Entertainment, Billy and Janaka put me on.
Over at
Never
Catwalk?
Empty. Never Empty is one of the first promoters that put me on the scene.
Really?
Yeah, the Asian promoters.
Was that Thomas Yamada?
Mark and Thomas Yamada.
Yes.
They hooked me up, and Billy and Danaka hooked me up, and after that I just ran with it. And just started DJing at all the clubs. Still DJing at all the clubs.
Okay, very good.
Yeah.
Very good. Yes, and in fact I ran into you recently at Crimson. Get a Presence night. It was unbelievable.
Right. I'll be there this Friday too.
Oh, okay, this Friday. All right. I'm going to definitely try to make it. And Saturdays. All right. We'll try to make that happen. Yes, indeed. And so from the clubs, there was something that happened with you. What was the catalyst? What was the thing that made that transition into production for you?
Well, I was always, like I said, I was always doing all three. And whichever
Always.
one was more popping at that time, I'd go in that direction.
Okay.
So as I'm DJing at the clubs, I'm producing myself. I also used to DJ for my old buddy Reddy. We was Reddy and Willin. I was DJ Reddy. He was MC Willin.
Sometimes
really? Sometimes I'd rap with him. And
okay.
We were on KCMU, KEXP all the time.
All the time.
Nasty Ness would throw us on and whatever. And I basically made an album while I was, doing all this other stuff, producing and whatever, but I rapped on the album and produced on the album.
Okay.
My manager at the time, J.D. Hill, made sure that album and some of my instrumental beats got into the hands of D-Shot and E40.
Okay.
Because you remember back in the days, there was like 3 major music conferences, Gavin and a couple other ones.
R&R maybe, and
and
How Can I Be Down maybe.
Everybody back then got discovered,
through these.
Paperboy, the one guy, I wish I was a little bit taller. They all got discovered. Even Nelly, I think, got discovered at one of these or whatever.
Wow.
So he basically went down there, slid him the beat CD and the albums and stuff, and 40 was like, I want some beats, and D-Shot was like, I want to put out the album.
Okay.
So once again, I'm doing both,
Okay.
I'm producing E40 at this time now, and then I'm going in D-Shot Records and nationwide distribution.
Wow. So
it's basically whichever game pulled me, whichever direction is the way I went, and I still tried to do all 3 because I love doing it.
Right. Wonderful. Yeah. All right. And so the very first single that you did for E40?
Sideways. It wasn't really a single. Well, actually, no, it wasn't a single. It was just on the album. It was like a hood classic,
Okay.
They still play it on KMEL to this day.
Okay, wonderful.
Yeah.
And what did that do for you? When he dropped that, what did it do?
Production-wise, everything just took off after that.
Really?
Mac Dre gets out of jail. He's like, I want to meet this cat, Funk Daddy. I want him to do. I went down there to do 2 or 3 beats. Ended up doing 5 to 7 beats.
Wow.
And he puts out his album. This is the album when he first got out of jail. The first one he put out. Blew up. In Too Deep, JT, and Baby Bash.
Right.
They want some beats or whatever.
Right.
Mix-a-Lot. And I was always kind of in the Mix-a-Lot camp, but I wasn't an official member.
Right.
And if I forget to mention anybody, during this, like I said, I'm trying to squeeze it all in. I ain't forgot about you, Kid Sensation. Steve Spence, Kid Sensation, put me on to DJ for him.
Okay.
He was on Mix-a-Lot's label or whatever. So
right.
He put out Back to Boom, and I did all the scratching for him.
Okay.
If he opened up for Mix-a-Lot, I'd do all the scratching for on stage, I'd be scratching for him too. This is before Punish came along.
Wow.
So Mix was like, I want you to scratch in this song, My Bad Side, on the Seminar album.
Right.
I go in there, do what I love to do or whatever.
Right.
I'm not even tripping off of money. I'm just happy to meet Mix-a-Lot, a guy I grew up with and who I admire and respect everything he's done.
Right.
And he broke me off, and everything was, lovely after that.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. Very good.
It was great,
Really good. Really good. So, what was the Mac Dre experience like? I mean, I had the privilege of briefly. I mean, there was a window of time, when I was, getting to know him. I found him to be fascinating and just genuine, and so forth.
Right.
But what was the experience, like for you working?
The experience was like, and I have to, throw 40 in this too. They're both down to earth. They're not big-headed. They value your opinion. They speak their mind. They're not sedity or fake. So that's how Mac Dre was. He was, hey, I want to get these beats. Hey, can you redo this beat? I do it. And he'd be like, yeah, that's tight. Can you throw this in? Can you take this out? Wow. I brought somebody down there to sing. He was like, oh, that's not working. Let's try this. He spoke his mind and made everything happen. And he moves fast.
Wow.
He moves fast.
Yes. Yes.
We're still getting Mac Dre songs, and he's passed away some time
now.
Yeah,
it's been a few years. Wow.
A question I always ask myself, and this is a little bit off the topic, is he blew up so big towards the end of his career. I wonder if it was headed that direction before he passed away, or if it was because he passed away. Because it seemed like he was headed to be a major artist. Not that he's not big, because he's huge.
Right.
But he's huge like in a Tech 9 way. The Tech 9 rapper's huge, but not everybody knows him as a household name. Right. So,
Kansas has its Tech 9, Mac Dre, or the Bay has...
Insane Clown Posse. It's people you've heard of, but you don't see them on TV like you see,
Exactly. So maybe with just a little more time, with a little bit more...
I think he was headed that direction.
It was. I agree with you. And he was just so real. I mean, genuine is the only way I could describe him. In fact, he actually helped me one night. This was about maybe 6 months before he was killed, and situation came up in Seattle, and he pulls up in this, that wide body, white Benz he had or whatever. I don't know if you ever saw that thing. It was just this huge tank of a car, and he pulls up and goes, Dexter, is everything all right? And I looked at him, I'm like, well, with you here, yeah, it's all right, you know.
Yeah.
And he was just that kind of guy, He was just, just a great person for the short time that I knew him.
And I'm sure you can say, just like me, knowing all the people you've met in the game that are arrogant, selfish, fake. I want to say names, but I don't.
Well, in fact, that particular night had to do with a huge argument I was having in front of the Westin Hotel downtown with the representation of an A-list artist. And here comes Mac Dre pulling up.
Right.
And he just, they basically went away after they saw that cat because they knew. Mac Dre, come on, come on,
That's
so anyway, that's my quick Mac Dre background.
Right.
But all right, so now as far as going into production and so forth, how did you get yourself set up? Did you have to piece together your studio? What were some of the ways that you had to develop things in the beginning? Because I know it's very difficult in the beginning.
Right. Hardy, harsh.
Yes.
I definitely had to piece together my studio. I didn't have the top-notch stuff.
Right.
And I was just raised. You do what you can.
Right.
I didn't even have a 4-track. I had a cassette. I'd record on one track, put the cassette, and run another cassette. Rap over that cassette, going to another cassette. Still scratching on the old school grandma turntable, using the volume as the fader because I didn't have a mixer yet.
Okay.
And just slowly piece together the equipment that I used.
Mm-hmm.
The funny thing is, a guy at my school, Andy Metalis, knew this guy that was Mix-a-Lot's buddy back then.
Okay.
His name was Bart, Phantom of the Scratch. Well, you know Bart.
Mm-hmm.
Works with E-Dog.
Yes.
Yeah. What's his name? Strange.
Yeah.
But back then he was called Phantom of the Scratch.
Oh.
Bart bought all of Mix-a-Lot's old equipment. And then I bought all of Bart's old equipment, which was Mix-a-Lot's equipment.
Okay.
So I ended up with Mix-a-Lot's keyboard, old keyboard,
So the trickle up theory.
Exactly.
Wonderful.
And then, I was like, I got good on it, but I never could do the things that Mix-a-Lot did with it. I don't understand how he did all that stuff. But he was a genius back then, man.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
God, that's how it started.
That's how it started.
Yeah.
Okay, so you kind of made it work with what you had, and then you built it up today where now you have an in-home studio environment.
Right.
Is that correct? And this is really this is your full-time. This is your work.
This is what I do. I do a lot of things. I have a regular job. I have a DJ job. I still produce locally in Major. And me and Cool Nuts are working on doing an album, but
I heard.
Yeah, it's been in the works for a while, but if it ever gets finished, it's going to be beautiful.
Really? How many tracks have you finished?
So far, I've sent him 3.
3.
And he's a busy guy, he's on the radio down there, so I'm just letting him take his time, and we're just going to do it like that. And when it gets done, it gets done. Okay, well, so Cool Nuts, we want to definitely hear what you're doing. Definitely.
For those of you just joining me, welcome to the Gene Dexter Show. My very, very, very special guest today. Funk Daddy, Uber producer I call him, but DJ in his own right. Why don't we take a look and see who's saying hello?
Is that Sonny Bonoho?
Yeah, Sonny Bonoho in the house.
Sonny?
Thank you, Sonny. Hugh Lee, my line producer. Thanks for dropping by. Where's my kid Raz? My sidekick is missing again. My kid Raz. He's my Ed McMahon from Sweden.
Right.
But he hasn't checked in just yet.
All the way from Sweden.
All the way from Sweden.
That's crazy.
Hey,
Yeah.
it's a combination of technology and the hood.
Right.
I had to have a sidekick, but I can only find him in Sweden. So.
Yeah. I got my homeboy Joey and my wife June and my daughter Paris are probably watching right now.
Oh, good.
Yeah, so we'll shout out to them.
And we'll certainly be archiving it too for the ages, and see where this takes us. I'm kind of embarrassed too because we've been working on this now for a little while, and I still don't have and I know it's possible, but I would love to be able to show your videos, and some of your work and so forth. And this is available, but I haven't figured it out yet. So that while we're talking, we could be showing some of the great things that you've done. But I didn't want that to stop us from doing this today. Anyway, and hopefully you'll come back once I have a more legitimate.
When I watched the B Mellow one.
Oh yes, what did you think?
I thought it was tight. I thought there was like 5 people. A guy working the camera, a guy holding up a light.
This is a little bit more close and personal, wasn't it?
it was tight, man. I was really impressed.
Thank you. And on the subject of Be Mellow, I feel incredibly. I was saying this during before the broadcast today, just how lucky that I feel to have captured him just prior to the Death Row Records offer.
Yeah.
I mean, because this is a big deal.
I want to see how that unfolds, man.
We'll see how it works out, and see what he can put together.
Did you tell everybody what's happening with him?
Well, I should put that on record. DJ B Mello just announced this morning that he was passing the baton over at KEXP FM, where he does a Sunday night show and has held it down for quite some time. Took it to another level, really. That program announced today that he was passing the baton to Larry Mizell from The Stranger magazine, who I couldn't even. I mean, that's a brilliant choice to me. To make the transition from print now and to actually put this on radio. But the reason why he's doing this is because he's joining Death Row Records, the new Death Row Records. What it means, where it's going, we don't know.
Only time will tell.
Yeah, no, only time will tell.
Don't forget about me, B.
Exactly. Me neither. Don't forget you sat on this patio to talk to me last week. But it's an incredible opportunity, and it puts him now into the executive ranks. I'm sure he'll still be able to do what he does.
Right.
But this is just a new facet, which we talked about. This very share, about what the next step for B Mello. So if we're really lucky, maybe. Will I Am will call you tonight for your stuff. But have some more champagne before it gets too warm.
I'm doing it big with Gene Dexter.
Oh, thank you. I hate, and it's so warm right now.
Yeah.
And I don't have
anything.
What is it,
88?
It's about 88. No one even would
this.
believe it. Everyone thinks it just does what it does, but maybe I'm revealing a little too much about what really goes on. Summer's in Seattle.
Right. Everybody will come here.
Exactly. So now, obviously, you're working with, with a great studio. I'm not a producer, so I don't know all of the, equipment and all of the incredible, tools that you must be.
It's whatever
using.
You're comfortable with. As long as you get a clean recording and know how to mix down or whatever, it's whatever you're comfortable with. You can just have a laptop and a mic. As long as you know what you're doing, you can make it sound good.
Very good. And tell us some of the, because this is, obviously based in Seattle. The way it is, we certainly want to shed light on what's happening in the Northwest. Who are some of the Seattle or Northwest luminaries who've graced your studio and have your stuff out there on an independent level?
One of the main cats you probably are already familiar with is Livio. I've been working with him for years.
Yes. Is he? What's he doing? Because I was just clowning him earlier today.
Yeah. He's got like two albums worth of material done.
Okay.
So he just put out one mix CD, and he's about to put out another one probably in another week or so.
Okay.
Yeah, and he's got.
I'd love to hear it sometime.
Man, he's got beats by the one producer from Bad Boy. Gave him a lot of beats. Stevie J.
Really?
Yeah, one producer from Bad Boy gave him a lot of beats. I gave him, I worked with a lot of beats with him. Jay Hens gave him some. Got some beats with him and stuff. His project's pretty tight.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
And then there's Sinatra and Ren OG.
Of course.
E-Dog, Cool Nuts.
E-Dog, who's
coming
back. I mean, he's got a little project called Coming.
That I heard Mix is about to put him out or whatever.
Yeah. In fact, and at my age, I'm forgetting everything these days.
Oh yeah.
But he has an incredible name for this album. And I know what it is now. He's calling it Retirement Plan.
What?
I think that's the hottest name.
That reminds me of another artist, Mr. Dog.
Okay.
Tacoma.
Yes, indeed.
Yeah, big shout out to Tacoma.
Okay. And DMS, of course, we mentioned earlier.
And then, outside of that, Mac Dre, Into Deep.
Right.
Luckily, again, Sir Mix-a-Lot, I've got some beats. He's about to put another album out.
Really?
Yeah. I got about 3. Him and Ricardo have a label deal going on.
Is it that Hard Road? Or?
No, it's not Hard Road, but I don't know if it's Ricardo's label or Mix's label, but they definitely got a major deal in the works.
Oh, well, we'll have to look out for that too.
Yeah.
The master of the game, of course. Sir Mix-a-Lot.
Without a doubt.
All right, and so you're dabbling a couple of different projects.
Still doing,
nice lineup.
Still doing mixed CDs. A big shout out to Steve-O and ARS Records and Platinum. They hold me down.
Oh yes.
You know,
oh yes, absolutely.
keep me afloat, basically.
Yes, and on that subject, you know, ARS has done so much for my career. I mean, yeah. I mean, you know, Furl guy. I mean,
there was a time,
amazing.
man. You know,
thank you guys.
You couldn't do anything in Seattle without bumping heads with Knock on Wood,
right.
Ghetto Press,
right.
ARS,
right.
Ocean Records, you know, the big
right.
wigs. Oh, and I don't even want to forget Kun Love,
right.
C-Spot. You know, all
right.
those are
all of
people
those elements.
that just keeps everything recycling in.
Exactly,
you know?
exactly. But ARS kind of at the top of that though, because they kind of put a lot of people on.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, for a retail record store, that's pretty powerful.
Without a doubt.
You know,
and
I mean,
you remember when they used to throw those year barbecues and
the yearly
free, everybody
huge.
come, bring your
the annual
kids,
event.
everybody's DJing, they throw a big party after.
Across the street from my house, and then
Without
okay,
you
remember?
just walked right over there.
I walked right over there. You know, that was
Without
a very cool time. I kind of miss that though.
Yeah.
I should never have left the Central District. No, I really. I mean, I think about it now. I'm like,
you could always go back.
I could always go back.
And I'll take this house.
Thank you,
Thank
you. Well, welcome to Dexter Palace. I'm Gene Dexter, and this is the Gene Dexter Show. Let's see who else is. Oh man, guess who's shouting you out right now? Rob Williams.
Rob Williams.
My guy, Rob Williams. Williams Media Design. Very good friend of mine. He says big ups to the Funk Daddy, and. We got a lot of people just
Kirk Dove told me to give him a shout out, man.
Kirk
I don't
Dove.
know if he's watching right now.
Kirk Dove is my guy, man.
Big shout out to the Booze Hound, Kirk Dove.
Exactly, and that's when I speak with him too. It's 3-4 in the morning when we're both comparing notes.
Right.
You know, what are you drinking? Oh, okay. What am I drinking? Okay.
His pictures are so crazy. I wonder if he pulls them off the internet or if he really takes the pictures of what he's doing.
I'm sure he takes them, but
I
he's
think
probably
he
drunk
does.
when he does it.
Yeah.
Because that's where the best art comes from when you're.
Exactly.
At least in Kirk's.
He's an artiste.
Yes, he's an artiste. He's a West Seattle artiste.
Yeah.
Well, very, very cool. All right, so what's I mean, without getting into trouble or anything, what's on the back burner right now? What are you working on? What proposals are out there? We want to get the dirt. We want to get the dish.
There's not too much hidden. I mean, basically, Livio's got a couple of things up his sleeve, so if you ever have him on the show, I'll just let him.
I will, and Livio, you need to contact me because, you know, clearly, because the show is also about, you know, promotion, marketing, and so forth.
Please
contact me.
I got possibly 2 to 3 beats on E40's next project.
What?
But it all depends. You know how they'll make a lot of songs, and then they'll be like, okay, let's see if we're going to put these out or whatever, and just playing them for people and getting feedback. So
yes.
We'll see how that goes, but, you know, I hope all 3 of them make that album.
Oh my God!
Without a doubt.
Oh my God! Of course.
Without a doubt.
Well, very, very cool. And as far as you know, for those of us who are new to this, perhaps, or are trying to learn the music business and so forth, how do you keep track of your business? What about your team? Who is your
that's a good question.
Your team, your publishing, You
really have to have a good team.
Exactly.
And I've watched a lot of people. As I'm sure you have, you've probably worked with some of the people.
Mm-hmm.
They have some of the pieces of the puzzle, but they don't have the whole puzzle.
Well,
you know, they don't have.
Unfortunate truth.
They might have the talent, but they don't have the push to go out and promote.
Mm-hmm.
They might have the push to go out and promote, but they don't have the talent.
Right.
You know, they might have both of those, but they don't have the money to do either.
Right.
You know, so.
Right.
The key to me to success is to master having all 3 of those.
Okay.
And to stay on it and not get lazy. I can't lie, I get lazy, you know.
Yes.
You got to stay on it, and you got to stay dedicated, and you got to put together a good team.
Yes, indeed.
And a lot of things you can't do is burn bridges. And you know, people in Seattle,
yes,
they just keep thinking, oh, I'm never gonna have to deal with this guy again. But no, you will have to deal with this guy again.
It's amazing on the way down.
Yeah.
Who you got to come across.
Without a doubt.
You know, after you stepped on him on the way up. So.
Yeah.
No, that's that's a cautionary. Very big cautionary note there.
Because you'll remember.
Yes. Yes. Memories are long, aren't they?
Yeah.
Yes, indeed. So, as far as management right now, who are you represented right now? As far as
I've been working with J.D. Hill.
J.D. Hill for years.
Yeah.
Many years.
Without a doubt. And he's the one that got worked this
last
thing going. Yeah.
Yes.
And like I said, he hooked me up with the D-Shot and the 40s.
Okay. And so that's a relationship that continues to this day.
Yeah.
Okay.
Without a doubt.
And you're just so that we can familiarize people in Seattle. Is Neil Sussman your attorney? Or
no, I don't even know who Neil.
Neil? Oh, okay. I thought for some reason I was looking at some background on you. I thought maybe Neil was your
I'm gonna Google
was
his
your
name as
was
soon
your
as I get
contract
home.
representation.
You
but
know,
I could be wrong.
not to give a plug or whatever, but the best person that's looked over my contracts and knows the ins and outs is Ricardo Frazier so far.
Yes.
Yeah,
Well,
he's
Ricardo,
looked
of
over.
course,
He's
done
looked
amazing
over,
things.
right? He's
For
looked
not
over
only
everything.
Mix-a-Lot, but Chocolate Moore right now.
Right.
And who's obviously must be doing wonderful things because he's been with Mix forever. You know. So okay, so you pass things on to Ricardo to get a little bit of
I run it by him.
A little bit of his.
He'll be like, this is kind of shady. This distribution, you basically be paying for it. And I was like,
so he knows his mouth.
He knows his ins and outs.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
Okay. So you have a casual team then that you can rely on, you know, as far as making that happen. And you're publishing? Where's that? Is it BMI or
it's ASCAP?
It's ASCAP. Okay.
Yeah.
So you've chosen. Okay. Very good. So you have ASCAP.
And it's a good thing you brought that up for anybody who's still learning about the game. You make a lot of money off your publishing. I mean, all these rappers you think are washed up every time their song's played on Cube, whatever. If their paperwork's right,
don't misunderstand.
They're making their money. You know?
Exactly.
It adds up.
Exactly. And I don't mean to, I'm going to figure this out, Funk. I promise you, where I won't be distracted as we're doing this. But Sonny Bono just came back.
What's up, Sonny?
Just saying,
I see B-Mello's
what's
up
up?
there too.
B-Mello in the house. B-Mello, congratulations once again.
We want
really,
Death Row jackets, man, hats or something.
Death Row, the reemergence,
promo records,
the Death Row party. I'll throw it right here. I'll throw it before summer's end.
Yeah.
Seriously. The Death Row Records affiliation with DJ B-Mello.
Man,
it's freaking unbelievable.
I just can't wait for that to
I just
unfold,
can't believe it. I'm so thrilled for him. Really.
Yeah.
Well, very good. So, what's going on the way of proposals right now? What do you got floating around there? I mean, you mentioned some E40 stuff. That's good. A little bit of Mix-a-Lot, Cool Nuts, of course.
Who else
are you talking to?
Do you know who Santo Valentino is?
Of course. He's Mr. Supreme's guy.
Right.
Yeah.
He's into DJing now, and he does graphics a little bit too.
Yes.
Stuff, but me and him are actually working on a little project.
You're talking,
as well.
or you're actually laying some stuff down?
Without a doubt.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. I don't know if your show's cursed or not, but he can rap his ass off. Yeah. I want to see Seattle's best kept secrets.
Yeah, we can do anything we want on this.
He tries to push me, I try to push him.
Yes, indeed.
Yeah.
Yes, indeed.
So that's a couple of
I saw him at Club Chapel a couple of months ago. It was a Scion Toyota party, and he was running it with.
He's at the Sea Sound Lounge on Sundays too, I believe.
Sundays over there. Okay, well we'll have to definitely check out. He's on Facebook too, so if you ever want to. If you ever want to check out Santos, look on one of our Facebook pages. He's in there somewhere.
Santo Valentino. I always say Santos.
Santos.
He corrects me. No, it's Santo.
Santo
Valentino.
Don't get it twisted. I'm Santo.
Let's all go get this. Yeah, he's a cool
Yeah,
guy.
very, very cool. Well, wonderful. Well, I think this would be a great time in our time together to segue into something I call swaggish and inspirational. Perhaps you saw that with some of the other interviews I've done. But swaggish and inspirational are basically where we each choose 3 people who we find swaggish and inspirational, and who we kind of look to, for positivity and for that touch of style and so forth. I'm sorry, I'm kind of hitting them up on this because we didn't kind of prepare for this part.
It's a freestyle.
It's a freestyle because I haven't really thought of it either. But I would like to find out, maybe what we could do is we could tie it in to your MySpace or Facebook friends, people that could actually that we could maybe look into a little later. People who you find swaggish and inspirational. And why? And why?
If we're talking locally.
Anywhere. Locally, nationally, internationally.
Well, internationally, I'd have to say one of the people that inspired me is, the first is Sir Mix-a-Lot.
Sir Mix-a-Lot.
I grew up listening to him on the bus. Half the bus would hate on him, half the bus would say, he's the greatest thing that ever existed.
Yes, well, being from Seattle.
Right. He overcame all the odds. The reason why he's inspirational is when he did it, he didn't have anybody to look up to.
Mm.
He did it all himself, or with Nasty Nas, however
Yes,
you want
with
to look
Nas,
at it.
yeah,
But they
yeah.
both did it without anybody
Kind of.
else. Nobody else had made it already and opened the door for them, as far as I know. They just did it themselves, and they made their money and reinvested it back into the company and just kept doing it big until they got on a major label, and next thing you know, he's a household name.
Household name.
Right.
Exactly.
So he's very
Sir
inspirational.
Mix-a-Lot. Excellent.
Yeah, without a doubt.
Excellent.
George Clinton, he just influenced my music. I can't even say he's inspirational. I have never met the guy.
No.
But when you listen to his music, you just wonder, what was he smoking when he made these songs? What was he thinking? The mothership has landed, all that crazy stuff, you know?
And not to date myself, but of course I'm dated. I was there when the mothership landed for the first time in L.A. If you guys had, I mean, if there were one time capsule, there were one thing I could pull you into the time capsule and take you back. I would take you to that very first stadium tour for the Parliament. And
crazy.
When the mothership landed, it was life-changing for me.
Right. That's cool.
Okay, 1970s, but I can't hide it. Anyway, I'm sorry.
Locally,
locally,
you know, this might surprise a lot of people, but there's a lot of people that do stuff locally that I'm somewhat amazed at.
Okay.
One of them is
well, let's extend Swaggish and International 3 more than
however you
locally.
wanna-
But no, let's do it. Let's do it.
Love, you know.
Love.
And the reason I say this might surprise people is because some of the people I'm mentioning, a lot of people hate on, and they might have a reason to hate or not. I'm not looking at that. I'm just looking at them and what they're doing.
Right.
Kun Love does cspot.com, and he did it really, really big, you know. And a lot of people are like, oh, this website, I don't know if I like Kun, blah, blah, blah. Kun is doing it.
Well, it's the standard.
Right.
cspot.com is truly the standard.
You want to know what
You want to know what's going on in about 2 hours, 3 hours?
cspot.com. You want to know where your baby mama was at last night? Go look at the photo.
Exactly. If you want to find out who was clowning who.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You know, I admire that.
You know, he should kind of line up with a divorce attorney and kind of set,
give the photos to them.
Kind of, you know,
Blackmail
work that out. Well, not blackmail, but maybe a collabo. You know, sponsored by, you know, the, you know, Jones and Jones. Divorce attorneys.
It might work.
It might work. I'm sorry. But no, but and of course the annual Virgo party.
Oh yeah,
you
without
know,
a doubt.
which is a fixture, iconic party.
Started out at the Showbox, or maybe even smaller than that. Ended up at the Seahawks Stadium.
It's ridiculous.
You know,
ridiculous.
People was hating on that. Oh, I'm not going. Blah,
oh,
blah,
but,
blah.
but where were they? Where were they that night?
Hey, just like the flyer said, get your hair done, go get your suits,
get your nails did,
get
and everything
dressed
else.
up.
Exactly.
It's a live affair.
It is.
So.
It is. Well, very good. Kun Love then. All right, and then the next swaggish and inspirational person.
Ghetto Prez is, you know.
Ghetto Prez.
Ghetto Prez wears so many hats.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? He does the graphics. At one point he was a DJ. At one point he had a record label. Now he's doing the Crimson downtown. He's doing clubs.
Bananas,
you know?
too. It's bananas.
He's got his hand.
They hardly walk in that club.
Exactly. He's doing so much.
Yeah.
You know, it's hard for me to see how people can hate on people that are doing so much.
You can't. How can anyone? Yeah. I think that as far as Ghetto Prez goes, I mean, that's got to be 100% for support in this town. I mean, I would be crushed if there weren't.
Without a doubt.
You know,
these are names that people should all know.
Everyone needs to know. Everyone needs to know.
Right.
Ghetto Prez, presidential media.
Right.
All right, and well, Ben, let's throw in another one. Give me a third local.
Third local. I can give you a third local that I was impressed with, but I don't know what they're doing now.
Okay.
That's Knock on Wood.
Knock on Wood Records.
Knock on Wood. And that's another. All these people I'm naming are controversial in our city.
Yes,
as I'm sure you know.
Oh yes.
But Knock on Wood came out of nowhere, and
yes, we did.
Got a song. Got a song with Rick James. You know. Got on the D.L. Hughley show.
The Hughley show.
Got a studio that's also as big. It's a club. It's a office. It's everything.
It's everything.
You know, they can throw a party.
Corporate parties,
exactly.
Events, the whole thing.
They were doing it big. You can't.
Yeah.
And I can't. Just to throw in somebody else, Pac Pros is doing it big.
Pac Pros,
Amir is still doing it big.
Amir's
I'm sorry, I forgot to shout you out, Amir. Big shout out to Amir. He was the muscle behind Livio.
Yes.
Period.
My God.
I met Amir, and
oh
then
my God,
I met
that's
Livio.
so true.
Yes.
Now you're bringing us back.
Amir, I can't believe I forgot to mention Amir.
Amir.
Big shout out to Amir.
Yeah. No, he really he created the entire Livio
Pac Pros
Foundation.
Without a doubt, yeah.
All right.
He's still doing big things too. He's over at the Vertigo and I want to say Winers in Bellevue.
Oh, wonderful.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, very good. Well, I've got 3 swaggish and inspirational.
Sonny Bonaho, here's the truth.
He is the truth. Thank you, Sonny.
I gotta get a song with Sonny Bonaho, man.
You have to. And again, congratulations to Sonny Bonaho, number 2 most added at the Rap Attack Lives panel, college radio panel, 150 shows run by Nasty Ness.
I saw
Number
that.
2 most added. Incredible, man. I think it's an incredible world. I've supported Sonny since the night I stumbled in with Daddy-O from Stetsasonic into this place, Havana.
Yeah.
And we were,
Is that the one?
we were out drinking, having a good time. We walked in, and there's this good kid on stage. And I don't care what anybody says. I mean, I don't want to digress, but anybody who thinks that it was Sonny following Chingo Bling, I'm gonna set the record straight right now. And if you have a problem with it too frigging bad, you're gonna have to talk to me, because the fact of the matter is that Sonny Bonaho was doing Sonny Bonaho well before Chingo Bling figured it out, okay? And well before that. And while I'm happy for Chingo Bling and the TVT deal and all that stuff that came about, and yes, you actually put it on and got it out there, which kind of hurt for maybe 2 minutes for Sonny Bonaho. Don't get it twisted. Chingo Bling, you found Sonny Bonaho and bit Sonny Bonaho, because I was there. Daddy-O was there.
He's
we
got
know.
a unique style,
I know
man.
the dates. I know the places. I know the timeline. And guess what? Sonny Bonaho was it. Sorry. Okay, so now that I've had my bit of controversy, I'm probably going to have to lock my front doors for the next 6 months. My 3 swaggish and inspirational people right now would be, first of all, Oz Scott. He's a big director, based in Bel Air. Doing incredible things. He's got a lot of irons in the fire, and he's responsible for so many careers when it comes to African American play writing and live performance. Okay. So Oz Scott. Second, Gregory Brown. Gregory Brown, entrepreneur, very, very dear friend of mine. A lot of us know him. Man of the world. Used to work for Adnan Khashoggi. I just find him incredibly inspirational.
You guys got to Google these names.
Yes, Gregory Brown.
He's saying this
Man
for a
about
reason.
town, I call him.
I know when I get home, that's what I'm going to
Yes,
do.
indeed. Yes, indeed. And then after that, I can't really forget the ladies. There's so many, really. I mean, there are so many, and the show will be ongoing, so don't get angry with me. But I would say right now, and also in the Gregory Brown camp, Annette Fogel. Annette Fogel from Bel Air and also Laurel Canyon. Just grit, inspiration, whether she's up, she's down. She's my Facebook friend as well. I'm not going to get it all into her mess, but I talk to her almost every day, and I just find her inspirational. Okay. So that's basically. She's not music industry, but somebody of the scene and somebody that you need to know.
I was just going to say,
yes,
I want to check out these people and see how they were inspired.
Yeah, they're all on my Facebook, too.
I'm going to check them out.
Indeed, indeed. So, last week, DJ B. Mello left us with a diamond, just a little something that we could all take away. Is there something that you can think of that we might be able to put in our pockets for maybe 6 months down the line? Something we should look out for, whether it's music, whether it's lifestyle, whether it's whatever. Is there something that you can leave with us that we might be able to carry through for the next week?
The only thing that I can think of is I would like people to think about music and how people think that, a lot of people are against the South, or a lot of people, how Jay-Z had that auto-tune song, this and auto-tune.
Yeah.
What I've been thinking about is it's not the South, and it's not auto-tune, it's not the East, it's not the West. It's just too much of one thing is not good, period.
Yes.
And as a DJ, I can feel what Jay-Z's talking about, because every song I get has auto-tune.
And
the song "Blame It on the Drink," one of my favorite songs, one of the number one. I'm a DJ. I love to play it. I love everybody going to the floor. I can't tell Jamie Foxx from T-Pain. because they're all on the auto-tune. Wow. If I see the video, I know who is who.
This is okay. This is a diamond and a platinum setting. Okay.
It might be controversial, but it's the truth. He had to say what he had to say about auto-tune for that.
It's overkill.
It's anything that, you know, when it first came out, you know, the first song I ever heard somebody rapping with auto-tune was Cassidy, Drinking My Two-Step. And that was beautiful. But when everybody's doing it, from 8-year-olds to 50-year-olds, and every song you hear on the radio is auto-tune now.
And you know what that is? That's to you corporations and you organizations that keep pushing it because it's the sure thing, it's this and that, the other. You're basically cannibalizing yourself when you do this.
All sounds the same.
Okay, you're just basically trying to go for Spider-Man 8, and that's not cool.
Spider-Man 8.
You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
I mean, it's basically very cheap.
I could watch 8 Spider-Mans.
Huh?
I said I could watch 8 Spider-Man.
You could?
Yeah.
Shit, I couldn't even get through 2 of it. I mean, come on. But you know, we have a little bit of a generational difference, though.
Right.
But yeah, but you know the spirit of that, though. You know, when they grab onto this and you know, but yeah, isn't that true though, that that companies can cannibalize, you know, something just because they think it's the sure thing.
Right.
They play it out, and then
they're like, where's your singer? Where's your pop song? Where's your blah blah blah? And that's fine at the start, but when everybody starts doing it, you gotta go
get
a
out.
different direction.
Yeah.
You can come back to it, but you gotta go a different direction.
Exactly. Sort of like the stock market. You know, when the shoe shine boy starts talking about, you know, what to buy, that's the time to start selling that stock that he's talking about. You know, so it's the same thing. I don't know how, but it's the same thing.
I hear what you're saying.
Well, fuck, man, I so appreciate you coming, you know, here. The only way that I can do what I do is by, you know, the grace of major people, you know, like yourself, and I just so appreciate you coming here and blessing my household like this, the way you have. I can't tell you what
if you guys
this means
could just see, if you could just turn the camera and just see this house, you know, I'm driving around, I'm like, oh no, Gene's doing it big. Gene's doing it big. You got the champagne.
We got the champagne, and unfortunately, because of the weather, this one is almost ruined. But next time you're here, I'll have 2 things: videos, and I'm gonna have a champagne bucket so I can make sure that this thing doesn't go bad.
That's what's up,
you know.
Man.
But maybe that's a sign that this would be
Mello said Spider-Man 8 DOS.
DOS. I don't know if a lot of people realize how droll his humor is. I mean, DJ Mello is a very funny man.
The reason he's funny is because he's funny when you don't expect him to.
Yeah.
Be funny.
Oh yeah. Always from the.
Yeah.
And I just love it, man. I just love it. Well, man, I just so appreciate you coming through, and I hope that this will be one day maybe a time capsule for bigger and better things, so that when that Grammy comes along for you, and when that when that 8 times platinum project comes on, that they'll come back to this little ass patio show,
right,
and that the rest of us could have just played a minuscule part in that. So Funk Daddy, man, thank you so very much,
Always
and I really appreciate your support today.
And we're gonna figure out who's been doing this longest one day.
Well, one day we'll have to map that out.
Right.
We'll have to map that out. Well, listen, guys, the champagne is truly getting screwed up, and I've got to get on to the next thing. But thank you very much for joining me today. And you never know, open an account on Ustream, follow the Gene Dexter Show, follow Dow Jones, the business, follow Professor Daddy-O. There's some really cool channels. De La Soul, they've got a 24-hour channel that's coming. This is the Twitter, this is the Facebook of 18 months from now. You heard it here first. Get with the program or get behind. I don't care, Either way, I appreciate your support.
Yes, sir.
Thank you, and good night. And with that, we stop.